The blue flame keepers have been and are arriving to reclaim organic and original truths of this Trinity form realm, which is a celestial creation with the engineering first of its kind, developed by the great white lion race of the Sirius system and other guardian founder races. We, who existed in ages of what we call future and past, rise once more, and we stand as part of what I call the Radiant Army of Light, alongside many other guardians coming in, and this is radiant workers of light. And those of us holding these archetypes of genetic blueprints are activating more and more, faster and faster. The eternal blue flame is a beacon that cannot be stamped out and holds within it mystical truths that intertwine with grander galactic truths. Join me in this video as we immerse ourselves in this aspect of the blue flame and how it connects to our primordial future, but this is about this time right now. Let's pretend that we are gathering around the eternal flames of the sacred fire once again, so that we can bask in its radiant glow, for it illuminates not only the night sky, but also our souls. And in this enchanted space, we are transported to primordial times, where tales of wonder and magic were woven into the very fabric of existence. The warmth of the fire caresses our spirits, beckoning us to share our stories of our journeys and quests. I'm Natalie, a mage, seer, and primordial wisdom storyteller, and my hopes are to offer insights that can activate codes and healing within others. I operate the Awakening Magic through the Team Goo work, and I also offer programs and a lot of other healing work in Disrupt Now programs and podcasts. For it is time to disrupt the status quo and break free from the confines of the old systems and ways that have kept humanity weak and disempowered. The blue flame is something that is rising within me and getting more and more bright every day. Therefore, I wanted to talk about this right now as I felt called to do so. And as we gather in these highly transformational times, while we're not around a fire physically, energetically, we absolutely are. We are moving through frequencies to find each other again and to find those that really vibrate with the frequencies that we also are carrying. That in and of itself is the power of alignment. It is the power of unity as it emanates from within to then emanate to the without. As part of these harmonizing frequency, there are varying soul tribe family groups that have come into this earthly realm to help. We're here to assist in this time. And what I call us is an army of light. And the meaning of this, when I say it, is that we're a group that's fitted together to anchor in the higher organic realms into the earthly realm once again, anchoring into the cosmic mother once again. And in my previous video called About Blue-Ray Indigos, I discussed that there are specific streams of wisdom that are held within the DNA of these groups, the Grail codes, which equate to unlocking wisdom from within. But there is an ultimate or an overarching objective that we all hold in the heart, behind the heart, the 8th chakra, or we can call this the sacred heart, as well as I have envisioned it. So each unique human that is a blue-ray indigo, cosmic lineage of the blue-ray lineages, but of course many other lineages, but in this I'm going to focus on this blue aspect once again. And each unique human of this lineage comes in with their soul stream, or we can say soul family. And so the ultimate goal is to awaken this mission within us. And the mission has been, for many, a mission that has been cultivated over many varying incarnations and points in timelines. I want to really zero in on this blue flame keeper, because the blue flame keeper, as I have seen it in visions, it's about carrying frequencies of the blue ray consciousness. And of course, the ray is just another word that we use in today's language, being coloration. But I think rays are far more appropriate because it's a ray of light. And a ray has different vibrations that separates it from another ray. So we will resonate often as a starseed or an indigo, or maybe we resonate with both of these terminologies that have been used, because what we're really talking about are soul family groups. Now, this focus on the blue flame keepers, what I'm really honing in on here is a specific female bloodline that streams with consciousness that connects Earth, Terra, and Gaia as Earth, and Terra being an ascended form and Gaia being an ascended form. So it's a Trinity realm. And the blue flame keepers and the specific bloodline that I am part of, and what I want to talk about today, connects into lion race founders and connects into those with those correlated frequencies. So the blue flame keepers that I'm speaking of in this storytelling connects into the solar feminine, the mother of dragons, who I know intimately as the blue dragon Tiamat, and so much more. Ultimately, this is a lineage of the feminine crystal consciousness, or what has morphed into this feminine Christos consciousness. But all of that is really to say that it's directly connected into the Sophia cosmic mother bloodline. And at the end of this video, I will share some powerful wisdom as to exactly why I know, without a doubt, that there is just nothing that can stop the blue flame. That many of us are here carrying on within us, igniting powerful codes to bring back Sophia, the cosmic mother consciousness that has been stripped from this realm. We are here to bring it back in very unique but all magnificent ways. The initiation for me into this remembrance of this female divine feminine and blue flame keeper mission is going to unfold uniquely for each of us. For me, I was initiated into this wisdom through the aspect of what we call higher selves coming in, that came through into my dreams long ago. I was in my teens. And what it did is it imprinted the code deep into my being, over and over and over, the same codes over and over. And what I saw was the realm of the great white lions, and I beheld the higher aspect, goddess Bridget, of the lineage and flame that she represents and carries. So all of this was embedded deep into my being. And while it was always there, the full profundity of it all came washing over me like a tsunami, literally, as time wore on, ever quickening since February or so of 2020, when the work needed to begin in bigger ways than ever before, because energy is rising, supporting it. So in past videos, I've discussed a lot about this concept of a warrior. And this is what this blue flame keeper code also holds and ignites. But I just always want to be clear. It's not a warrior as seen in today's inverted warrior ways, or what a warrior is tied to, what it used to be, which is a being that holds truth, honor, integrity, courage, respect, bravery, reverence, to protect Earth and all of the living creation that is held here and in other timelines. This is what I like to call the enlightened warrior, an essence that the druids held and the true kings and queens held before tyranny took over these realms. So the ancient root meanings of this word do not mean what it means today. So we have to look at it that it's far more, I guess we could say, Zen, and a mix of this powerful being of a guardian protector consciousness. And so the ultimate goal is to, in many varied ways, assist in the offer of this concept of overarching sovereignty to souls who desire this, who yearn for this, who want to get out, who want to break free from this inverted agenda that has been set forth by vile factions in other realms that just keep choosing to tear themselves further and further and further away from all of living creation, from all of the unity, from the God source, from the Holy Trinity, and all that is. That is actually where the rip or the tear that is mending the blue rays. And this connects into this blue flame keeper from varied guardian founder races, realms, and higher consciousness streaming from first creator realms or the core realms. And I go over that extensively in the video that I mentioned before, the About Blu-ray Indigos video. So today we're really honing in on this blue flame and the keepers of this flame to share a little bit about how I really got kicked into this in a big way. So when I was very little, when I was young, but yet old enough to actually speak the words, to at least be able to be very clear of what I did not want to be a part of. So I remember being told what to believe in the churches that we were going to. But the issue was that unfortunately for them all, I couldn't be fooled, because what I realized is that the teachings that were being shared were not correct. All I knew was something was very wrong. I couldn't articulate it then, but I sure felt it. And I fully realize why now. But of course, when we're young, the codes are there, but forming the words, or they're not fully activated. And as a Blu-ray Indigo, I wasn't quiet about it. So I refused to be forced to listen to things that were incorrect so that my own truth could come out over time, and it did indeed. And I was obsessed with knights and the stories of the Templars. I still am to this day, and for as long as I can remember, drawn into those realms. Yet, what I have always known and saw in the books, or in many of the books, and in television, movies and such, it did not match what my soul knew. And I do remember thinking, what's going on? This isn't right. Something is incorrect. So now I can share this more authentically from an awareness and growth in that deeper knowing. But the true order of the Templars is connected and are connected to the blue flame keepers of wisdom. So the true order of the Templars were orders that served, orders or groups or round tables that served as holders or the keepers of wisdom around unity consciousness. This unity consciousness then got very inverted and confused with this one-man show of a man named Christ. That part is an inversion. It's not showing truths of the entire picture. So it's a manipulation, right? So the real Templars were the order of Christos consciousness, unity consciousness, or crystal consciousness that once was the true teachings. And so this is why the real Templar knowledge has been so inverted. And when those of us who hold the truths of dragon, hold the truths of the power lines and the dragon lines, the dragon nodes, and what I've been shown is that those are the sacred towers of the realm. And where these truths are awakening and we're being activated within these truths of this real Templar knowledge once again, and it's quickening beyond what we've known up to this point. So these powerful dragon truths, we can see that those have also been inverted and hidden. But the truths of dragon, it's oozing from many of us that are holding the true Templar codes, the blue flame wisdom keepers. So somewhere in the timelines that have been in what we have called before and then what we have called future, what we can see is there was an aversion or a corruption of the true seeds. And it's not easy to know things like this because, as I've discussed this before, in before times, we were thrown into a pit and forgotten about or burned at stakes or what have you. So when we dive into the wisdom that gleans from this time frame, the Essenes, the Cathars, and these lines, what I feel and see is that these are the before lineages that then led into Druid, and then later into Celtic Druid lineages, and then of course there were all these spin-offs, and we can really map out and thread and weave back these stories again. And this also weaves into the lineage of Merlins, or we can say the Merlions, for they are a race of beings from Sirius that are lion and aquatic beings. So lineages that stemmed from these more ancient or primordial roots of beings. And these lineages faced one thing, and many of us feel this, for we are avatars of consciousnesses that hold this. We had to sacrifice our lives in whatever ways in order to protect the wisdom and the frequencies that is part of the alignments around how this Trinity realm ascends, or how it arises in growth within octave changes. Now, this all shifted upon the entire galactic choice points, which is about this recreation process of ascension once again, which we are in. So this wisdom of knowing that we had to sacrifice, what that means is our lives weren't easy. Much healing has had to take place in what we call before times or future times, but also in the now time, because it is truly an eternal now. And this concept of the Essenes have captivated my attention. So I've read a lot of texts that have held wisdom, though it takes a lot of discernment, as does everything. But while the topic about the Essenes in general is a longer topic that we can touch upon as we go into other storytellings, but the Essenes truly are about the blue ray consciousness that I spoke of before, and consist of original 12 Essene tribes, but often are just called the Essenes. The Essenes, varying frequencies or vibrations within the rays of creation, and this is attached to the gate of the cosmic mother consciousness, which is a gate of 13. So that is the power of that number. And the blue ray of creation is the first order of the universal creation rays that emanates from the original source codes, or we can say God's source, and the organic original realms of higher creation. So in dreams and visions, I've been shown that this is the core. We could also say that's what we're really connecting back into when I'm saying realms of higher creation, the core. And it's connected into that number that many of us have heard and were drawn into immediately. And this is the concept of the 144,000. That number is about genetic codes mapped into our systems that allow us to fully remember as keeper of the universal codes of truth. That's why many of you feel that you're coming in with truths that are far beyond this realm, because it is. These insights are unlocked within, and then they're pushed out from our souls. And so many of us carry the wisdom of the Sirius system and connected into the, maybe even the Egyptian time frames. This is what many of us know when we hold deep grief within our beings as well. So it's this deep grief in the core of who we are, because there's been much misery to protect the God worlds and the creator realms and the codes to connect into all of that energetically. So you can think about it like program codes, right? And so that's meant that we have suffered a great many war. And this has caused much pain. And so those of us that come in with this lineage, the keepers of the blue flame, we go through a lot of deep emotional work and clearing that we must do. And this is often connected into what we call the witch wound. But truly what it is, it's knowing that the female kind, the female lineage, the blue flame keepers have been hunted down just for carrying the cosmic mother truths. Now, the blue ray consciousness is any gender, doesn't matter. but I'm really speaking about this female lineage of the blue flame keepers of wisdom. And so it was another layer of wounding because you're in a female form. And that is often why many who carry these deep woundings, there's often a primordial fear within women to show up in this time frame on cameras, having this, deep-rooted, seated agitation about speaking truths. And in before time frames, we could say, when Joshua or Yeshua in Hebrew and his wife and divine partner, sacred partner Mary, and many of their sisters and brothers who spoke the same truths, their version of speaking truths looked very different than what we're doing today. But the truth is, it's really the same. Today, the hunting down is varied and it's different, but that doesn't mean there isn't a true and real wounding that we have to surmount. So the vile ones and the agenda when hijacking of humanity in this living creation came in, it's to create what is now known as the patriarchy. It's a system. It's a system of misogyny. For any of us that have eyes to actually see, there are beyond extreme levels of hatred that has been directed towards women, the female form, but even more so to those that carry the divine feminine codes and all of these other aspects I'm talking about. Because there's even yet another layer. The true divine feminine is fierce, yet gentle. Warrior with courage and bravery, yet soft and compassionate, filling with that unconditional love of Cosmic Mother, and so much more. And in fact, I think that it is this fierceness that many around can pick up on, as I am sure you have felt this way as well. And they sort of spit on you when they say those words like, you're fierce. It's kind of like, ugh. So we are getting hunted down, but in different ways. But the wounding, nevertheless, feels the same. So I say all of this to say that this is all very real. And to my sisters who have felt this, we now rise together in this time and we can once more protect each other. The time is gone where we need to feel alone, for we are not alone any longer. And also it's about getting out of the creation aspect of competition and all of these inversions that have been poured onto the already existing wounding from all of this. There's a reclamation to this all as well. So the blue flame keeper of wisdom holds the codes of reclamation of the solar feminine, and connecting into that feminine unity consciousness, which again we could say is the feminine Christ or Christos consciousness. There's many ways to talk about this. So that is a very underscore of the blue flame keeper of wisdom. What's happening is that we're connecting directly into the Grail system and the Stargates. And so we're literally like anchored into the energetic structure of this Trinity realm. And this also is about connecting into those, what we call future timelines of Terra and Gaia as well. And so the codes and the activations serving as the genetic instruction sets of the solar feminine has been flooding in. And this is not new, but it is primordial. It once was, and so now it will be again. And the reason that this is really the mothership, or this mother arc with a C, is because it is the female biology that's picking up these codes. And of course, that is absolutely extending out, but it's like the mothership rising in the female lineage, the blue flame keepers. This one is for the blue flame sisters. But by picking up and receiving these codes as part of that natural initiation, as part of the lineage, what this is doing organically and naturally is it's repairing the inversions of what we know as female being attached to this lunar concept, the moon concept. That's actually an inversion. So female is not the moon. And so it's a reclamation of these solar aspects. So if you're being drawn into the sun, drawn into this knowing, the moon is not organic. The sun is where I'm aligning. This is why. And so it's reclaiming the solar aspects of the feminine energies and masculine energies, intertwining them back into the root, core, solar aspects of what was. When we really look at this, you'll see so many inverted lies and manipulations of how the females created evil. Females are evil. And of course, then you can actually see these distortions that are held in so many dogmatic religions. So the female lineage holding the DNA blueprint is reconnecting into this solar or sun aspect once again. And this is the blue flame. This truly is the blue flame blueprint. Now think about that for a second. Isn't it interesting that that word blueprint means original? When we really look at words, word magic, it's been in front of our eyes the whole time, yet these things have been hidden, and these truths are totally unstoppable now. We can all look at that word blueprint and see, got it. So this is all blending in patterns of a before time. So the codes of creation before all the hijacking is what's being woven in once again into the planetary being itself, but coming from the planetary being as well. And so this is what is really defining and creating unity consciousness and creating the unity consciousness field once again. Unity in and of itself, when we think about it, truly is the original Christos or Christ teachings and codes. It is that unity consciousness. And so I'll have to delve into that in more detail in a future storytelling. So for all the blue flame keepers of wisdom, this is the activation time to share the very coded gifts that we have, that we've been persecuted for no matter what. And when we say yes and we launch our missions, when we're stepping into that power more and more wholeheartedly, this is at the core transmutation. It is the alchemy that we're using at the core to create from that space of transparency, authenticity, and realism, once again, organic, once again. You'll begin to see common threads of insights and wisdom coming in from lots of different places, and you'll be able to see how we're getting very similar information waves, but we're presenting it on our own way. And we're finding our own creative outlets to do this. And we're born with the ability to access realms that just aren't typically accessed from a third density experience. So the powerful languages that we're speaking, again, are our emotions through empathy. And so this is the mother creation ray. And so blue flame keepers of wisdom bring back this harmony with the solar feminine once again. And ultimately speaking, what we're really talking about here from a much bigger container is that we are guardians of the Trinity, Earth, Terra, Gaia, of humanity, of flora, of fauna. And we're about protecting and assisting. And as we all can fully recognize, it doesn't feel glamorous because it's not easy. We're all going to assist in our unique ways with our unique frequencies of the gifts and how they're specifically showing up through us. So being here in this way and serving in this way doesn't necessarily always feel good. So I can tell you this though, it is going to get easier. The energies right now say take bold action, supporting and lifting that. Synchronicities, opening, it's wildly on fire. And the blue flame keeper, the female lineage that I'm speaking of, was just one more layer of this to talk about and to bring forth. And now here's the portion that I want to share with you that will help you see why this blue flame, the blue ray in general, can never be stamped out or ruined or stopped ever again. And here I will share some powerful wisdom as to why I just know without a doubt that there's just nothing that can stop the blue flame. It can't stop this carrying of this and igniting of these powerful codes to bring back Sophia, to bring the overarching cosmic mother consciousness. And then, of course, that blue flame keeper of wisdom, knowing that we're connecting back into the solar feminine and all of these other aspects that I didn't even really get to talk about because it is much bigger than that. But this is really a core that I wanted to bring in today. So watch this video and what happens on the blue ray here, aka blue coloration.
Laser weapons can be programmed for different wavelengths. There was something blue they didn't want to burn.
Blue card did not burn in flames. Same as the blue umbrella.
Blue cannot catch fire when hit by intense laser beams. Do you see the power of what I am portraying here and what the significance of this actually displays? I think you can. Blue flames and the blue ray consciousness cannot be stamped out, and so we are the unstoppable force of consciousness. Let us remember that. So I hope this video helps you to awaken more of your magic. Subscribe to get more videos meant to illuminate the path for indigos and starseeds and all humans here with sacred missions that serve as the pioneers in this massive paradigm shift of consciousness. Together we are remembering original creation magic. And thank you so much for watching.